Triumph TR8 was the V8 version, I believe, of the TR7.
They stuck a V8
motor. Yeah. Well, MG did as well. There was an MGB V8.
We get that in America?
I don't think so. It had like a Rover V8. Yeah.
I thought a Ford V8, but
yeah.
All right. Are we going here? I think we are.
Are we recording?
We are recording.
Oh, okay, cool.
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, to episode 21 of the Daily Motor Podcast. We are back.
Yeah.
We are in one piece, somehow healthy. Boy, we have had a roller coaster of the last 2 weeks, let me tell you. First off, I got what was never officially diagnosed as coronavirus, COVID-19, but damn if it wasn't really rough. I haven't been that sick. I don't even remember it.
Charlie 10 of 10.
Yeah. I mean, it was really rough. Put it this way. I worked for Car and Driver for about 4 years. I never once took a sick day.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it was probably like pre-college that I had been like ill to the point of like, I can't really get out of bed.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. So
scary illness.
Right. That was unfortunate. And you've been battling illness, not even like from your immune system, but literally just other people being ill around you.
Yeah, I know. Everyone, I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things where a lot of people right now are sick. So it's just been everyone around me in my life has it. So I've just been trying to dodge. But
you seem to be successful,
again,
which is
well, don't knock on glass. Yeah, no, see, fine so far, but last night was a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Way of exposure.
Dealing
So
with family.
Yeah.
Illness.
It's currently 6:51 p.m. I woke up at 3 p.m. because I was at the hospital with my aunt all night from like midnight to 6 a.m. So
yeah,
took a little snooze during the day, but back for the podcast.
There you go. Of course. Have to get it done.
Consistency is key.
Yep. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you miss a week in podcasting, people are like,
canceled.
Bunch of fucking amateurs.
Yeah.
Yep. F in the chat for Chris's aunt and for Chris's sleep schedule. Both those equally.
Yes.
Yep.
Hopefully
they both recover.
Both will recover very soon. Yeah. So.
And then I last week got in a motorcycle accident.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's just been a very.
I know it really. As soon as I recovered from the sickness, then I got home. And
someone crashed into you.
Yeah. I mean, explicitly speaking, I crashed into them, but that's because they were suddenly in my lane.
Yes.
When they weren't supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I did not consent to them being in my lane of traffic at no miles per hour while I was doing 45. So I was on the Grom and was doing the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
Which, there's one thing I like about the Grom is I know myself. I know I'm a bit of a speed demon. I know I'm a bit of a risk taker. So that is why I have not purchased myself some crazy motorcycle that can do 0 to 100 in 2.5 seconds.
Right.
Because I know I would want to exploit that and I'd want to hear the engine and I'd want to go fast and everything. Right. So that's why I buy myself single cylinder 125cc motorcycles.
Yeah.
That can't go above 60
literally
miles
can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know myself. But fortunately, that kept me from getting any serious injuries, but still quite bruised. Check that one out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's meaty.
That is a meaty... Oh, they can see that as well.
Yep, and one up there on my knee as well.
Matt, you might want to save this for the OnlyFans, Charlie.
There you go. The Daily Motor OnlyFans.
Yeah.
This is about Alyssa doing one of those.
Oh.
Yeah, a little bit on my hand. Can't really see much.
You went over the hood of their Chevrolet Venture.
Yeah.
That's a car that's very up your alley. So that was appropriate.
It's weird. I've always despised older Chevys. I'm okay with the Buick.
What? Oh, but the Buick's okay. So if it would have been a Buick Terraza or whatever those are called, you would have tried to purchase it after you crashed into it.
Would have hugged it as I flew over its hood. But I was going about 45, and as soon as he started pulling in my lane, I slammed on the brakes. It does have ABS, so
okay. I didn't know that.
But yeah,
interesting. Okay,
I'll purchase all my bikes other than the Ninja, which wasn't offered with ABS, but I tried to get everything else with ABS, and slowed down to probably about 15 or so because the bike is very damaged, but all I did was kind of pop up and back down. In fact, I think this bruise is actually just from hitting the seat of the motorcycle.
Oh,
from where it is and stuff. I mean, there's no way I hit the ground like that there. And I was wearing my helmet, wear your gear, kids, wearing my helmet, gloves, padded jacket that the Topher gave me, actually. So
very
shout
good.
out to the Topher's jacket.
Yeah.
Clutch.
He saves lives all the time,
He
actually.
really does. Yep.
In more ways than one.
Yep.
It's so funny because, well, it's not funny, but I was here at the garage and I was like getting ready to go, and Charlie calls me and he's like, "Hey, I need your help unloading a bike." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Like, did you go buy a bike?" He's like, "No, it's the Grom." And I was like, "Oh, all right. Why do you need help unloading it?" He's like, "Oh, it's a little bit damaged." I was like, "What do you mean? Why didn't you lead this off with like, oh, I got in an accident?" You're just like so like chill about everything, but which I guess is a good thing to like not get super worked up, and you didn't die, so
exactly,
or break anything.
When I called Alyssa, I started the phone call with, "I'm okay, but
I'm okay, but."
And she said she'd been expecting that call for many years, so it's only about time.
Yeah. You gonna leave that in?
Likely. Yeah.
Charlie's drinking gluten.
Yep.
Carbonated gluten.
Some
Can you show that on YouTube?
beer?
Yeah.
I hope so. That's the reason we get demonetized. I think we've drank on the podcast before.
Yeah, but not explicitly, have we?
We haven't showed the can. There's Diet Coke in here.
I mean, there's no way to prove that it isn't Diet Coke that you poured into that can.
Yeah. Fuck you, YouTube. Oh, fun fact. You can gift memberships now, which is a really cool...
Can you gift me a membership?
Sure. If you want. But that just means I pay for it, I think. Or, no, maybe that just means I don't get the revenue for it. So I'll try that.
Should try and gift me one.
You like 2 years worth of membership.
Yeah, because then I can watch members-only sound tests.
Right. Yeah.
And I can request songs.
Too cheap to pay the $4 a month to see them.
I don't have that sort of money.
Yeah, you're right. If only someone would pay you more.
I know.
But that means that some of our OG dudes like Pittsburgh Man and Moran and everything, I can gift them some memberships, which I'd like to do.
Yeah.
Because
The
they've been
OGs.
supporters from the beginning. And there was something else I wanted to do with gifting memberships. I can't remember. Oh, I think now I could do things like when we live drive, if someone donates like $20 on the Cash App, we could reward them if they'd like with a membership.
Oh, okay. Couple months.
Cool. Because YouTube takes like 30% if they pay the membership fee. But if you do it through Cash App, all comes to us.
There you go.
Uncle Sam and Uncle YouTube both don't know. What else? Any other
yes.
drama that's going on?
Yes. Much drama. I've got a tan line from my Apple Watch.
Wow.
You can see that on camera too. Look at that.
Yeah, that is aggressive.
That's hideous, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, you've been doing so much running lately. You've been spending time in the outdoors.
I have been. Yeah, I've been outside. I blame this on the Veloster N though, because I was driving with the windows down the whole time.
How were you able to have your arm out the window?
I wasn't. Well, my arm wasn't out the window, but the sun was coming in.
Well, yeah, you got to drive that car with the window down so you can hear all the pops and bangs, and whirls, and cracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll get to that in a moment. More exciting, Chris and I just took a test drive in our Copart 2008 Ford Escape Hybrid. For those of you who have been listening to the podcast, you know Chris brought this up in our Copart segment probably about a month and a half ago, probably a little more. It's probably been about 2 months at this point. And I bid on it, won it for what, $775 or something like that, all after fees and taxes and stuff,
or
$1,200.
Yeah.
And I got some new radiators, new hood, new headlights, and we took it out for a drive. It wasn't what I would call perfect.
Yeah, but it
did run.
It was fine.
And it did not strand us.
No.
Just some weird vibrational noises.
Yeah, and
from the engine,
what is it? Stop safely now.
Yeah, it's weird. If anyone has an Escape Hybrid who happens to listen to our podcast, we started it 3 times. 2 of those 3 times, it stalled itself out within a minute, saying "stop safely now," like engine just shut off, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But the second time, the middle time, it ran perfect. It just it idled, it drove.
Hybrid system,
everything.
like it could drive it in
engine
EV.
Turned on and off. Yep.
Yeah.
No problems.
Did you know that the vent, or instead of the quarter window, there's a little vent on your car? It's to cool the hybrid battery.
Oh,
that's what that weird little quarter window is. Yeah, I just read that on the internet just 2 minutes ago.
That's really good to know.
Yeah, so that's why the hybrid doesn't match the normal Escapes.
Glad to know that.
But
we'll probably do something with that car. We're probably going to do a 300,000 plus mile car challenge between Chris's E46 and my Escape.
Yeah.
I don't know what challenges would be fair. Probably just like drive them somewhere. Like you and I have to do a trip.
Yeah.
Like maybe the Mama Fall Rally or something like that.
We drive them to Mama.
We have to drive them 7 hours away to a different state. Through 4 different states, actually. Yeah. Well, 3 different, depending on how you count it. But yeah, that could be interesting.
That would be fun, actually.
Yeah.
If you want to keep yours that long.
Right. Yeah. I could always sell the Maverick and daily drive that. New addition to the channel coming for a long-termer. Right. Exactly. Yeah. I'm sure people are really interested in a high mileage second generation Escape hybrid.
Yeah. It is green though, so that helps.
Very green. And that was the hybrid system they developed in conjunction with Toyota, so it's very stout.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. Other than that, around the garage, you drove your ML55 recently.
I did. It's running just as terrible as ever.
Yeah. Yeah. You really need a new fuel filter.
I just need to throw a bunch of stuff at it whenever myself and Keone.
Fuel filter.
You think so?
Yeah. I think that's going to make a huge difference. Yeah. Because if it's clogged, I mean, that literally, it's just like, it would explain why it's not. And because it's not like my Escape where like it had an accident.
Right.
It's just gotten shitty.
Yeah.
And so old gummy
hasn't been maintained.
Ethanol full fuel into the fuel filter would very much count for that. And yeah, if that doesn't work, then obviously plugs and things like that. But like
start with that.
Yeah. Throw it up on the Quick Jack. Shout out to Quick Jack.
Yeah, Ben Pack.
And swap that out. I did a fuel filter on the Boxster. It was pretty easy.
Yeah, a lot of people have left me comments for what
really? Yeah, how's your video been doing?
Yeah, well, the one I posted on the Topher channel is just, doing its thing on the Topher channel. There's like 100 comments on that video telling me what to do. And then the one I posted on my personal channel has like 4 or 5 comments of people suggesting. Okay. So, yeah.
Was that a 1 of 10 video for you?
No.
On your channel?
No. Bottom ranking video.
On your personal channel?
Yeah.
What's top?
Top is the Mazda 3 Turbo.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, for any of you who are not subscribed, subscribe to
Topher Drives.
Topher Drives on YouTube and get him more. Speaking of other channels, I think later this summer I'm going to split Daily Motor into multiple channels as well. There's going to be Daily Motor main channel for reviews and random things like Escape hybrids from Copart. And then Daily Motor Sound for sound tests.
Okay.
And then Daily Motor Testing for fuel economy testing. And then our sometime going to happen performance testing and any other tests we do.
Cool.
And then probably Daily Motor motorcycles as well. Daily Motor cycles.
Yeah. So you're going to have 4 different channels?
Probably. And here's the justification. YouTube's algorithm very much rewards when they can push videos out to a subscriber base and a lot of people click on that video. So that's why like Doug DeMuro does well, is because every single video is exactly the same in terms of formula and stuff.
Right.
So people know what to expect, and a higher percentage of those people, like YouTube's algorithm can figure it out easier. So if there are people who simply come to Daily Motor just for the sound tests, then they can just be subscribed to Daily Motor Sound, and they will always click on sound tests. The algorithm will pick that up better.
I see.
Plus, I noticed with your Forte GT review over this weekend, it actually kicked into browse features after the 24-hour mark. And then once I posted the Nissan video, it sort of tapered back off. So I'm wondering if we actually allow videos to sit for a few days and ruminate, if maybe, they'll actually get more views.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
well, it'll be worth a shot.
Yeah,
see how it goes.
Trying out. Mm-hmm. Yep. And obviously, things won't be posted to each channel daily then.
Right.
But it also sort of frees us up. We can post more or less and kind of get away with it.
Right.
Because we can still post to the network at least a video every day across the channels. But if there's situations where like Daily Motor's continuing to pick up and like you have a review on something you want to put out, but there's also a sound test we want to get out, like there's no reason can't be posted to both channels.
It's true.
Throughout a day.
Yeah.
And then it's really getting multiple. Like the perfect example, this all came from talking with Roman at TFL Fastlane, is because he's got like TFL truck, TFL bike, TFL car, TFL now, TFL. and he's done that for those reasons that he told me. Is, that just it differentiates things better. So, yeah. But a few weeks of cars that we have not discussed. A few weeks ago, we had a lot of
so many cars.
So what was the last podcast?
Episode 19.
Yeah, episode 19. What did we talk about?
Well, I could tell you all 4 cars that we were driving.
Yeah, was it that week that those were coming in?
Yeah.
Yes, this week we get time in the Navigator, Compass, GX, an i4. All right, so let's hit these kind of quick. Lincoln Navigator.
Very expensive for reasons other than features on the car, because Lincoln sells you like subscriptions to get nice rental cars at airports. And then also kind of a complicated interior, a lot of different things going on in there. I liked the green interior. I liked the way it drove. The tuning on the 10-speed was good. But in my opinion, overall, just way too expensive.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the only purpose for getting a Navigator is to get like a step or two down in trim, and only if you have like, if you're raising a basketball team and you also need to tow your boat, and you
Right,
need to
well-
take your 6'6" children along, and then and also tow a boat.
I don't think anyone needs a Navigator.
You're right, because you could just get an Expedition.
Yeah, the best time to buy a Navigator is when it's like old.
Old, or I'd argue maybe that like slightly old, because like our good friend Stu.
Oh, his is
excellent deal
great.
on a Navigator.
Yeah.
It's what, like 2014?
No, it's like a 17.
Oh, it's like a 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so bought it just a few years old.
Yeah.
And for much less than it cost new.
I don't know what he paid for it, but it was
So
for,
you're
I'm sure it was like
less
half
than
of
Expedition
MSRP.
money.
Yeah.
For a very, at that point,
That's
it
the
seems
way
like
to
a
do
nicer
it.
car.
Right.
Yeah, but let somebody else lease it new.
Yeah.
And then Jeep Compass. Worse than you expected, right?
What, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. Yes and no. Because my girlfriend drives. She leases a Jeep Compass. Same.
So you were
trim.
familiar.
Yes, but the thing with that is, with this sort of like amp up of press cars, I haven't really driven that thing in like months. So like I got into this Compass that we had.
And admittedly, it didn't help that our other three cars were like 80 plus.
Yeah, like a
miles,
Lincoln, a
vehicles,
BMW, and
Lexus.
Lexus, and then we had a Jeep Compass. So,
Not much of a palate cleanse, but
I don't know. It
didn't even idle properly.
No, it idled like shit. Can I say shit on here?
Yes.
Okay. The best thing about that car is the refreshed interior.
It's nice.
But I think instead of refreshing the interior, they should have just thrown the powertrain away and put a new one in.
Yeah. Thing is, Chrysler can make decent powertrains. The Pentastar.
No, because it's a stupid Fiat. It's a garbage ass Fiat power engine.
Right.
The 9-speed's terrible.
Is it?
Oh, it's dreadful.
Because it's not bad in like the Grand Cherokee and things like that. But
I don't think it's the same. Yeah. It shifts so slow. It's clunky.
You don't need 9 gears
sluggish.
for that car.
You don't. If you get a front wheel drive Compass, they give you a 6-speed.
That would be better.
So that would probably be better. So if you get a Compass, get a front wheel drive car.
Which is ironic because it's a Jeep. You really shouldn't be getting a Compass.
Just don't buy a Compass. Until don't buy a Compass until they put a new powertrain in, because otherwise I don't think it looks bad.
I think it looks great.
I think the exterior design is very attractive. The interior now is beautiful. That orange on the dash was awesome. I wouldn't really probably go for the gray seats, but I think that's the only way you can get the orange. So maybe I would. But
Great infotainment.
yeah, infotainment's good. Mm-hmm. I mean, miles ahead of what the previous Compass had. I mean, garbage. So my take from the Compass, and I took Emily with me on to shoot the review, and I mean, we agreed that like it's a really good car if you ignore the way it drives, the way it sounds, the way it shifts, the way it behaves.
If you drive around with headphones in,
Yeah.
and just completely ignore it, which a lot of Compass drivers probably do entirely ignore
If you
the
have
driving experience.
if you have less than no interest in cars,
There you go.
it is the perfect car for you, because you're not going to notice all of the crap.
Does
you know?
it have off-road capability?
It has like sand and mud mode.
But like, does it have some ground clearance and like?
Decent. Yeah, it's got decent ground clearance, I think.
I just feel like most Compass owners are probably not.
No one's gonna do that
whatsoever. So you should just get a like a Hyundai. No, the Kia
Forte.
Well, that's a good car, but no, the what's their small SUV? Well, there's a Soul.
The Venue.
Seltos.
Venue. Oh, that's Hyundai.
Hyundai Venue, Kia Seltos.
Kia Seltos.
Or the Hyundai Kona. That's what I'm thinking of. Hyundai Kona. Excellent car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kona N.
Yes. And then we also had the BMW i4. Admiring
That's pretty.
The Japanese.
Yeah. So the
i4 was cool. I thought it was really neat.
Yes. Very fast. Very like whiplash fast.
It was a good blend of normal car, but also kind of futuristic car.
Yeah. Did you know that Hans Zimmer did the noises in there? Do you know who that is? You don't
Yeah, I know.
Okay, you know who Hans Zimmer is.
Yeah. I was more thinking of the noises of it, but
He
you're right.
did the orchestra. No,
Okay.
like the. Yeah, that was him.
Interesting. Yeah,
He did that.
He did the Inception soundtrack.
And Interstellar, which is my favorite movie ever.
Is it? That's funny because Inception's my favorite movie.
Really?
Yeah.
So Hans Zimmer, good guy.
And Christopher Nolan, director.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, generally I don't like Matthew McConaughey. I think he's irritating.
Well, it's because you don't like the Navigator.
Literally, that's a big reason why I think Matthew McConaughey is so irritating because of those stupid Lincoln commercials.
He was at the media release of the facelifted Navigator.
Was he
on
there?
Stage and stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god, they're still milking that.
Running that shit.
Oh
wow. i4, yes, the sounds were good. I thought they were probably the best EV sounds I'd heard.
Yeah, well, that's because Hans Zimmer made them.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, very good stuff.
Infotainment, a little more of a learning curve with iDrive 8. Kind of prefer a little bit iDrive, but whatever. I just enjoyed driving it. Tires were remarkably sticky. They were special P0s engineered for that car, and I don't know how efficient they are, but they sure were sticky.
Still some BMW-ness, though, very vague steering.
Yes.
And just kind of overall controls, a little vague. No more climate control panel.
Right.
Either.
Fewer climate controls. That's unfortunate.
Yes.
Still a volume knob, but give it time.
Yeah, they'll get rid of that too.
Yep.
Until they just delete everything.
They'll charge you a monthly subscription for the volume knob.
Yeah, and the heated seats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that liquid gluten is just kicking in quick.
Oh, is it?
It's hard.
I'm in a total fog right now.
Yeah,
so.
It's hard to record 7 p.m. podcasts after a long Monday.
I'm having water, so that's helpful to me.
All right, I should probably switch.
What was the fourth car?
I was just going to say on the i4.
Wrap up the i4.
It's certainly, I mean, it's an quote unquote M car. It's not an M car.
It's not an M car.
Mid-range.
It's like a X3 M40i.
Right.
Yeah.
And the speed is definitely there, but you and I and the Topher all noticed that once you get up toward the limit, it was just kind of vague, like you said, and not very fun. And one thing I was a little disappointed in, I tried turning the stability control all the way off and then doing a donut, and it did not kick the rear end out at all. It just kind of like four-wheel drive, not spin.
Yeah, they don't let you do that.
Yeah, well, it let me like spin the tires, but it sent like too much power to the front wheels.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It was just a mess. It was not finessed whatsoever. In fact, I was able to kick the rear end out more on the EV6 than I remember on the i4.
I remember you telling me that. That's good.
i4, I think overall good car.
Yeah, I liked it.
Just barely.
I mean, it was one of my favorite EVs for sure.
Yeah.
So far.
And I would happily own one. Like, I wouldn't pay for it, but like if someone was like, you need to own an i4 for the next year.
I still hate that. I don't like the front end.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Compass was not a good car. Navigator's not a good car. And the GX 460, you liked driving.
I like the GX. I'm starting to appreciate old new cars more, especially after driving things like the i4 where there's just no controls. And then you get in a GX and it's just all of your controls. Just like my 2003 Lexus IS 300, I get in the GX and I'm like, I'm at home in this. No, and it's got new infotainment, which is lovely.
The first time I had a GX loaner, I hated it at first, but then by the end of the week, I was like, I get it.
Yeah,
it's a perfect Michigan car.
It is.
It just bounds over any sort of pothole or drunk person on the road.
I did that as well.
Yeah. And it is a neat car. I wouldn't, as an owner, be able to justify getting that poor fuel economy. And just, I mean, every time you start it up, listening to those fans going. And, that one was interesting because it was a fairly base model. Did not have.
It had barely any options.
Also had how would you describe the wood on the steering wheel? It was like an open pore soft wood.
Yeah, it was
not
nice.
shiny.
It's like a matte colored wood.
Yeah, matte wood. And it felt interesting in the hand. It's a neat car to drive, but again, I mean, premium fuel at like 14 miles per gallon, just hard to justify.
You could just run stuff over with it though.
Yeah.
Like there was a big long traffic line to go straight where there's a highway merge. If you can picture that in your head, did that make sense? I don't know. Big long open shoulder, no one doing anything. I just drove down that.
Sure. Why not?
Through everything in the GX.
Just found over everything.
Yeah, just drove through it.
Again, another good car to buy used, like the Topher did.
Right. Yeah, he got really
See how many
good,
times
really
we can
good
jack
use.
off the Topher in this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
So then the following week, we traded those out for the Veloster N
6-speed manual.
6-speed manual and the
Kia EV6.
Kia
GT line
EV6,
rear-wheel drive.
yes,
Mhm.
that was last week. So the Veloster N, before you had driven the manual car, having driven the DCT,
Yes.
which transmission do you think you would have picked? Do you think
Wait, if I
before you had driven the 6-speed manual, like leading up to that week, like did
which
you have a
transmission?
preference?
No, I wouldn't have been able to choose.
Okay.
No, but now having driven them both, the manual.
Yeah.
Because it's more rowdy.
It is. They put a louder exhaust
It's
on the
loud.
manual car.
Yeah.
And it's a good manual. It's probably one of the best front-wheel
you can
drive
shift it so
manuals
fast.
that I've
You can just
It feels so
bang
nice.
gears in that thing and it
Yeah.
doesn't argue.
Yeah. That Car and Driver had that as a 40,000 mile long-term car, and apparently by the end it was still
Yeah.
a good car.
A lot of wheel hop. Did you notice that? Really bad wheel hop.
I guess I didn't notice that too much. Maybe I only got on it hard when the tires were warmed up.
Oh, okay.
Because I noticed the differential was pretty good.
I was driving it last night at 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's probably cold then.
Yeah, it was freezing cold and I hit it in second gear and it sounded like an axle broke. It wheel hopped so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's understandable when you're pushing that many horsepower through the front wheel drive car.
275 horsepower.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, they literally, and this is what I love so much about Hyundai's N brand. They didn't try to go for lap times with that car. They went
Yeah.
for enjoyment.
And I had people asking me on Instagram, like, this or a Civic Type R? I'm like, Veloster N all the
Thank
way.
you. Yeah.
Because the Civic Type R is it's a fabulous car. It does a really good job at being precise, being very fast around a track and in a straight line. But it isn't as fun to drive in any sense, in any way.
The Civic Type R is a scalpel,
Yeah.
and the Veloster N is like just a sledgehammer. Or
Yeah.
Like just
a rusty spoon.
right. And it's like, what would you rather go out back and just fuck shit up with?
Yeah.
You know,
Veloster N. It's
Veloster
just
N.
so much fun because how often do you go to the Nürburgring?
Infrequently.
Right. So then why would you not just get the Veloster N?
Well, it's funny you say that because N literally for Nürburgring. It's for Nanyang, but also Nürburgring.
Gloss over that.
But yeah, I entirely agree. I mean, even more realistically, how often do you track your car? For most, even for people who do track, it's occasional.
Mhm.
It's very infrequent that you have someone who has a tracked regularly. And if you do, you probably have a dedicated
I
race.
just buy a Lotus Elise and still have a Veloster N.
Yeah. So even if you're just going to go ahead and like you're going to be maybe a second or two slower on lap, which Car and Driver's lightning lap, the Veloster N was about 3 seconds off the Civic Type R.
Oh, cool. I'd go a minute slower and still buy the Veloster N.
Yeah. But the test driver said if the Veloster were equipped with the same tires as the Civic, it would probably be that much like half as much closer.
Okay.
So I mean it's and add a little bit more power and you're probably right there. So no, I love that car. I love the colors it comes in. That would be my biggest difficulty is deciding the color because I like
Race red.
the red.
Yeah.
I like the blue.
hmm
And I like the black. The only one I wouldn't get's white.
I would be between blue and red. Yeah. I would probably go blue just because it's more unique to the Veloster. Yeah. Whereas everything in that segment comes in red, I believe. Like literally every car.
That's true.
So
It's not the perfect car. The interior's pretty darn basic, but again, that's the point of the car.
that's
And
the
you
point
got
of
good fuel economy.
Oh my God, I smashed EPA. EPA on that car's 28 and I got 34, I believe. 34.2 is what my calculation was. The car ended at 33 even.
Okay.
So, I mean, even if you average those, you'd be right in the middle of 33, you know?
Yeah, no, it's quite good. And I was impressed because when I took I've taken a Veloster N out to Gingerman and back, and I took one up north and back, and fuel economy wasn't that great on either one. So
Probably because you were going 100.
might have had a
Yeah. I was
it was
going
just
72 in eco mode.
right. Does it have an eco mode?
Oh, yeah. You never found that out, did you? No.
Always N custom.
I wouldn't have either because every time I got into it, double tap the N button because Charlie so graciously set up the custom N mode for me to be full loud, full ridiculous, but soft ride, which is the best way to do things.
And that's how I have the M4 set up right now.
Oh, good.
Yep. So the other car we had was the Kia EV6. You spent a few days in it.
I did spend a few days in that car. It was a nice experience. It was a very easy EV to live with.
It was this.
That looks like the tunnel of trees, kind of.
Not, but
It's Raha Rim. Oh, there's the photographer.
probably the
That's the photographer.
yeah. That's how driving the EV6 feels. It's a nice piece.
No, that is that
road.
Yeah, that is how it feels.
Yeah.
Very, very open interior, huge back seat.
Yeah.
Mostly usable controls. You still have a good amount of controls. They've condensed them slightly, but after like 2 days, so on my last day driving the car, on day 3, I was finally getting used to like switching back between my climate and my radio. So yeah, I would say overall it was good. It charges really fast from up to 80% at least.
Yep.
Even up to 100, it doesn't take too long.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and it shows a little screen if you dig into the EV menu that shows you exactly how long it would take to charge to your desired level on both 110, 240, 400, and 800 volt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
cool.
Any of those, you can see how long it's going to take to fill back up. I totally agree with you. It was a very boring in a good way
Yeah.
drive. It was so easy and comfortable, remarkably quiet.
Yeah.
It not like its looks at all. The looks are very remarkable. People are like, "What is this car?"
Yeah.
And then you get in it and you're just like, "Oh, anyone could."
Yeah.
Like I would have my mother drive an EV6
Same.
over a Tesla or something.
Yeah. Just get in it, drive it.
The Econoline steering wheel didn't bother you?
No, I like the steering wheel in the EV6.
Okay, good. I did too.
Yeah, I love that steering wheel. I think it looks good. It feels good.
Yep.
And sometimes it's nice to just if you're on the highway, especially with a car like that has steering assist, if you need to wiggle the steering wheel, you can just.
That was one of the best steering assists. I know we say this about Hyundai Genesis all the time, or Hyundai Genesis Kia.
Yeah.
But
They're
this
so
one is even
good.
a higher level one, and I did that.
Nothing can touch
the
it.
whole fuel economy test. It just drove. Like, yeah, it was so flipping good. And this was the very first lane assist that I did not get infuriated by.
Oh, good.
Because and this is why.
Oh, did it change lanes for you?
It does, and we talked about this, I think, with the Genesis.
Yeah, because that one was terrible.
If in the Genesis, if you turn the blinker on, you start to change lanes, and you put in too much input, it freaks the fuck out.
And cancels it.
Yes, this one does cancel it, but it doesn't freak out. It just puts up a little message that says like lane change canceled, like input like picked up on. So you can still change lanes 100% like
without it ripping the steering wheel out of your hands.
Without any sort of pressure, without any beeping, it's just very normal.
Okay.
But if you turn the blinker on part way and just keep the lightest amount of input on the wheel, it will get itself over, and it tells you in the head-up display that it's doing it, and like does the process, and then it gives you like a forward arrow to let you know that it's finished afterward. So it's the first car that I've actually found that like semi-useful.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yep.
They're moving up with that sort of thing.
They really are. But I did finally decide that the blind spot monitoring in those Kias that I always thought was cool is stupid.
Why is that?
Because for any of you who don't know, we're referring to in the instrument cluster, when you turn your blinker on, it shows you a little camera of your blind spot.
In your rev counter or your speedo.
Kind of, yeah, tucks away.
Yeah.
But what I've realized is you need to check your blind spot before you put your blinker on. So it's unhelpful.
You already know what's there.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why what's aside from turning your head, which is the safest way. Second safest way is looking in your mirror. That's why having the little light that comes on the mirror that most cars have these days is the best, because all you need to do is a quick glance. If you see the light, don't fucking change lanes. It's very straightforward. But this one, if someone were in your blind spot and you were to turn your blinker on, and the camera were to pop up, you were to see, that person would freak out.
It startles them.
Yeah, thinking that you're about to merge. And the car's going to beep at you anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's what blind spot monitoring does. Right, which is every car from, Tesla's Maverick, I even think, has an option for beeping at you. Like, that's the most straightforward blind spot monitoring.
Yes.
So I've decided that the camera is useless.
Okay, well, the Veloster N just had the little orange light.
Yeah, and it was perfect.
Do you know what the camera is for? In the EV6, I've just thought of it.
What is this for?
Middle lane, okay?
Okay.
Put your left turn signal on. Check your blind spot. Say, you check your blind spot before. Sorry, there's nothing there. Go to put your turn signal on. Lime green X3M competition, right? Comes out of nowhere. Guy with his Miami sort of sunglasses on. He's going 180. At least then, you've got your double check.
You're looking at that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now we know that is the lime green X3M competition feature.
Yes.
Okay. Avoidance feature. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. System.
Stay away from
good on
those.
Kia for thinking of that.
Yes.
Yeah, there aren't too many cars that I would voluntarily let you have the Veloster N for most of my time here.
I know. Thank you. That was a very enjoyable 4 days with that car.
Right.
I was,
that was because
shed a tear this morning.
Yeah. No, I only got to spend an afternoon with the Veloster, but it was because I had to spend time with the EV6 and get all the videos and testing in. But if it were something like a Jeep Compass, I would have not. Then I would have figured out another way to get some extra time in the Veloster N. And I was busy crashing motorcycles anyway. So
that's true.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
What else did I want to say about either of those two cars?
The EV6 had matte paint.
Yeah, I'm over
which
that.
is becoming a very common thing with EVs, or just not just even EVs, cars. Just new cars. The Genesis was matte. The i4 was matte. Frozen. It was frozen blue.
People who aren't used to seeing it still like it.
It's a wow factor. Yeah, it's very like Miami.
i4 was matte too, right?
Frozen. BMW individual frozen Portimao blue.
That's exactly what it was. Yep. No, I would happily take either of those two cars. In fact, that'd be a great two-car garage. Veloster N and EV6. Wife drives the EV6. You get the Veloster N.
I want a Veloster N so bad, but I just there's no reason for either of us to have.
It's the most spoiled, rotten first world problem that as an auto journalist, you have no reason to
own any car.
Yeah. That's why.
Why do I own any cars? I should sell all of them.
Because I was just like, yeah, I don't need this. And I mean, at least the motorcycles are a little different because I don't get like press bikes. But fuck, if I got press bikes and sell most of my motorcycles
or just keep them on what's the app called? Open Road?
Oh, Twisted Road.
Twisted Road.
Yeah, rentals, motorcycle rentals. Yeah, which I can no longer do with the Grom ad. Yep. Okay, and then this week, after such a good week, we have BMW M4, not to be confused with the i4. This is the all-wheel drive competition model.
xDrive.
Yes.
Got to get that BMW lingo down.
Oh my god.
xDrive.
M badges are on that car.
Do you know what LCI stands for?
No, I don't actually.
Do you know what LCI is?
Yeah.
Facelift. Mm-hmm. Life cycle impulse.
Yeesh. God, BMW and their branding.
Did that give you goosebumps?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever see? I know I brought it up with you and Chris before, but I'm not sure if you remember the BMW 7 Series that had like the longest official name and that like ever.
Probably the active hybrid one, or what?
I'll bring it up real quick here for all the boys and girls.
The longest, was it the F01 generation, or?
It was the most recent before what's out now.
Oh, so the newer one, M760i xDrive.
BMW 7 Series.
It had to have been a hybrid, right? Because
100 years. I can't remember if it was 100 years or. Here we go. The BMW individual 7 Series, the next 100 years.
Is that the name of the car?
Yes. It was like a 100 vehicle only special.
Oh, that's very good looking.
Edition. It was officially called BMW individual M760 Li V12 the next 100 years. That was the model that you were purchasing.
It's a V12. You can't have a V12 anymore.
I don't believe so.
No, that was the last one.
Yeah.
Have you driven? You've driven one of those, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just fantastic. A wave of smooth torque. I mean, it's like an electric car, right?
I'm actually just now realizing that I will probably never drive another one of those unless I buy one.
Maybe one will show up at like Gene Buttman, you never know.
Jeez, yeah, probably.
Actually, I don't know what I read earlier, but I don't know if I kept xDrive in there, but it's
you definitely didn't.
Individual BMW M760 Li xDrive V12 the next 100 years redefines luxury on the move. Yeah. I mean, every time they say, like, that's the whole name of the car.
That was one of the first cars that I like genuinely fell in love with, was that M760i, because like before my days of just driving so many new cars, I worked a summer with BMW M track days.
Okay.
And they had one M760i that came around on the tour with us that summer, and it was just a beautiful spec. It was a light blue, and it had like a full individual white interior. It was gorgeous, and I got the opportunity to drive that car a little bit. And as a 19-year-old, I was just like, oh my god, I'm driving a $200,000 V12 BMW. And I only drove it a couple miles, but it was just like, it's just so good, so much fun, and like you said, wave of torque. And it made a good sound too. When you put it in sport mode, it would do little farts between gears, even with the big V12.
This is the one I drove. So it was pretty subtle.
Frozen.
Yep. Frozen brown. This was back in the Frozen when you could not take this through the car wash. BMW explicitly asked us, do not take this through an automatic car wash, hand wash only.
Oh, well, bird poop would ruin those older Frozen paints.
100%. So this car is probably already depreciated to about $20,000.
No, you know what's funny about these is these were genuinely $180,000 cars when they were new. And the spec on this one may even be more because it's got Frozen paint and whatever else.
Right.
But now, 4 years later. They're like 70 grand.
Totally reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah. The shame is even this Gen 7 series was not as nice as
Mike Samari. We know it.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Wait, which one is he? I know him.
He's Chris's friend.
He was at the TRX Dunes with us.
No, that's different, Mike. That's Mike Campagnoni.
Oh, there's so many Mikes.
This Samari shot the Topher's wedding.
Oh, very cool. Okay. Oh, I don't know that I like that interior.
That's a little basic.
Was the outside of it brown? Because that would make sense. Okay, yeah. I couldn't tell if it was gray or brown.
Car. This is a good point, though. You could just buy the Alpina. That was always the problem with the V12.
But the Alpina's a V8, though.
I know.
It's not as cool.
But it's not as fast. Like the Alpina's fast.
But this is a V12, though.
Yes, I know. This one was 180 grand.
You know, the best
spot on.
The best part. Oh, was I?
Yeah, literally at 179.
Charlie, I went through a phase where I was obsessed with this car. I was daily researching and looking at this M760i because it was my favorite car for so long.
Well, if we keep this gig up long enough, one will pop up on Copart at some point.
Yeah,
in the next 10 years.
for $3,000 or something.
And you will have to buy it. It will be lost.
601 horsepower.
Yes, that one is important.
Another reason to buy this over the Alpina, the shifter bezel surround says V12 on it.
Oh.
So you look down and you're like, that's right. I'm driving a V12.
If you had the opportunity, would you rather drive a V12 or a W16?
What are you getting with a W16? A Bugatti?
Yeah, I guess that's a Bugatti. So you'd have to
a V12. I don't want to drive a Bugatti. That's too much pressure. Would you ever want to drive a Bugatti? Where do you go in a Bugatti?
That you've a Bugatti.
Well, yeah. Well, when you say would I drive one,
I didn't mean
with
like
context.
I meant like literally like to just say that like.
The Bugatti. Yeah.
Okay.
But like to own the BMW. Yeah.
What is the Rolls Royce engine? Is that a W12?
W12.
All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what would be better, a V12 or a W12?
I have no idea. I've never driven something with a W12.
I guess you will in June.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks to Alyssa.
Yeah,
for being good enough to marry.
Oh, that's right. Thanks, Alyssa.
Mm-hmm. She won't listen to this.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe she will in like 10 years.
There you go.
Hello, Alyssa. Happy 10-year anniversary.
So anyway, we have the M4 this week.
xDrive.
It's
gray.
It's very gray, not frozen, thank fuck.
So, BMW's press cars are no longer spec'd by the same person that they were last year.
Right.
So the specs are going to be, I feel like the specs are a little more conservative this year.
Probably. And that makes sense because shout out to Jay Hansen, was
he was an enthusiast.
He was an enthusiast, and he'd been around for a while, so he wasn't gonna get like poo-pooed for building something weird.
Yeah.
But this new guy probably doesn't want to step on any toes or rock the boat too much.
So it's just a gray.
It's all gonna be gray
M4 with black interior, which is okay. I mean, it's a very dentist spec.
That's a great way to put it.
But yeah, one thing I remember, we were sitting with Jay somewhere, and he was talking about how he was like putting in orders for. It was like 2019 or 2020 model year press cars. And he put in an order for an M5 Competition in frozen orange. Mm-hmm. And it was a color that wasn't supposed to be offered on the M5.
That's right.
But the order still went through. So he made a one of one frozen orange M5 Competition, which I just found on a forum as well.
Did you?
It's went back through, it ended its tour, and it went through, and somebody bought it with like 5,000 miles on it or something, certified pre-owned. It looks awesome. It's just like it's kind of like the color of that SRT4 Caliber up on the wall.
Why don't we bring it up here?
Yeah. So there are a handful of them in Europe.
How should I search for it?
BMW M5 Competition frozen orange. But as far as I know, in the US, this is the only car. Yep. It's the side profile picture, middle row to the right. Yep. That's the car right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's the one. 2020. So this is a guy on a forum who actually traded in his individual Ferrari red M5 or Rosso Dino or whatever. Uh-huh. So super cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
But I think it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool frozen color.
Yeah.
So that's the car that Jay spec'd. Yep. And there's the Rosso Dino or whatever. What is the color on that? I don't know. I think that looks cool too, because that's not a color that they offer. That's an individual.
Right. I think this M4 will be good. I've driven it a little bit.
It's very fast, isn't it?
Yeah. No big surprise there. I mean, what's there to say? The new M3 and M4s are excellent. It sounds so good. I love inline sixes.
Yeah.
Little stomach action going.
ASMR.
Yeah. And we also have the Volvo XC40
T5,
which is the wrong engine.
I think.
I don't
know.
know
because the right engine is no engine.
Well,
the right engine is just the EV.
But no, the right engine is the T4. I don't know why you get the T5. Why are you buying
What is the difference?
The T4 is slower, but it only takes regular fuel.
Oh, that
T5
one takes premium?
Premium and costs more.
But do you get a crystal shift knob if you get the T4?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
Because I want a crystal shift knob.
I do appreciate that Volvo lets you get crystal shift knobs.
Mm-hmm. Does BMW do that still? They used to.
Not that I know of.
They used to do it in the... Well, the last car we had with it was that big Alpina XP7.
Oh, that's Volvo Carlisle. We don't want that.
Can we get another XP7?
Probably
Do they still
not.
make that? They probably don't even... Well, actually, no, we should get one because it just got facelifted.
Did it really?
Yeah.
They facelifted the 7 Series already?
No, the XB7. The X7 and XB7. The SUV?
Yeah. So I just asked you, they facelifted the X7 already?
Yeah.
Huh.
You said the 7 Series.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to listen
It's
back
on
to
camera.
This. Yeah. I said. That's surprising because I feel like the X7 has not been out very long.
It has. It's been out for quite a while. 4 years.
3 years.
Yeah, that's normal time for a facelift. For a for a life cycle impulse.
All right, so we're building XC40 here.
I really like the black on this car. It's a very deep and sparkly black.
So that is an inscription that you have, right? And that's what gets
I have no idea. I would assume so.
is.
It's definitely not an R design.
Yeah.
Refined and executive.
We need to get you the crystal. Yep, right here. Crystal gear selector knob by.
How much is that?
It's included in the inscription model. So you have to pay an extra $5,000.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
But you can still get the T4 powertrain.
Oh, front wheel drive as well.
Oh, you have to get all. Okay, so T4 is front wheel drive only.
What's the transmission in the?
I think there's
automatic. Okay.
It doesn't tell you the gear.
So that one's got
187 horsepower and
horsepower.
221 torques. But again, regular fuel.
What's the one that we have?
248 and 258. So you're really not
that's about what it feels like.
It just makes it feel healthier. But your sacrifice.
That's about half of what the EV has. The
Right.
EV is like 400 horsepower.
Right. So I guess you have to get the T5 if you're going to want all-wheel drive, and I'm sure everyone who buys this car is going to want all-wheel drive.
And wheels off the bottom of a grand piano.
Yeah.
I like the wheels on the one we have way better than those.
Really? I kind of like those too.
Those will ride nicely.
We have. Holy shit! You can go from a 21 to a
That's like a
18. That's a big gap.
That looks smaller than an 18. It looks like a 16.
Put these 21s back on.
It's doing a good job loading.
Yeah. Well,
$3,315 for 21-inch 5 triple open spoke black diamond cut wheels.
It says recharge tires. I wonder if that's only those wheels are only for the recharge.
Well, we'll never know because we can't see them.
Yeah. Well, that might be why they weren't loading. Is like maybe
Well,
freaking the
no, those
configurator
are the
up.
ones we have on the car, aren't they? Not
Are they?
those. I don't think it's those. I think it's the big 21s on it.
Yeesh.
Don't hit any
Should never
potholes.
They should never put 21
Oh my God.
wheels on any press car.
I hit a pothole so hard this morning.
See, there you go.
I definitely thought I
that was
bent
in
a
the
wheel.
Veloster though,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I hit a hard one, I think, in the Veloster too, and I was just like,
Yeah. It hit hard.
yeesh.
Have you ever hit a pothole so hard that you think the airbags are going to go off?
I don't think that hard, no.
I hit one in my old E90 3 Series with both. It was like a big hole in the road, and it hit with both front tires to the point where I went forward. I thought for sure the airbags were going to go off. It was so alarming. But
Well, we'll see if the XC40 with the non-electric powertrain proves to be a good car. Probably will.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a nice car for that class. It's just easy for it to get expensive. I mean, even as we had it right here, we're at $48,000.
I think it's a very good looking car.
Yeah, sure.
In the segment, it's one of my favorite looking vehicles.
Have you driven a BMW X1?
Nope.
Okay.
I want to though. Do they still make that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be tough to decide between this and the X1. The XC40 is nicer from a luxury standpoint, but the X1 is more fun to drive.
I probably have the Volvo, so I wouldn't have to pay a monthly subscription to use my heated seats.
Touche. Got any Copart cars for us?
Yes. Oh, I've got a good one today, actually.
Oh boy. All right. What do we got going?
Would you like a hint? It's on the wall.
Is it a neon?
No, it's close though.
A Model T?
Neon.
Yeah, you have a neon right here?
No, it's not a neon.
Oh, it's a Caliber. Sorry.
592 841 10.
Better not be a Murcielago. You're real tempted. Hey, yeah, there we go. 09 Dodge Caliber SRT4.
I've always had a weird love for these.
Yeah,
They're
of course.
very cool little hot hatches.
It's because we were like the most influenceable age when these came out.
Well, yeah, because so this ad on the wall, can they see that? Well, now they can't, but they can. Okay,
yeah,
so this,
that one, where the mouse is.
yeah, that one right there, that ad, the orange ad,
Yeah.
that was pulled from a magazine that I had from like 2008. So like seeing this car was just, I don't know. It was during that era with the Cobalt SS.
Yep.
What else was there? I guess Ford didn't really have anything at that time.
Yeah,
so really
Ford
just
stopped.
Cobalt
Ford
SS.
had nothing at that time.
No, they didn't
right?
have anything because the SVT Focus was done, and it was in between SVT Focus and Focus ST, where they didn't really have anything.
Yep. They ran a Focus ST until 2007, but it was not.
Yeah, it was just It was just a naturally aspirated 2.3. They were all manual though.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, and I remember when I was when the Caliber had first come out, we had a Durango, and or maybe it was before we had gotten the Durango, but we were always driving Dodges and Chryslers and Jeeps and stuff.
Yeah.
And my mom test drove a Caliber, and she was like, "This is awful."
Well, I'm sure in
She didn't
base
like-
form
she
they're
didn't like
dreadful.
the CVT at all.
They have a CVT.
Oh yeah, they were like a first gen
No.
like CVT, and I heard one take off from a stop sign the other day, and they literally just. It was horrendous, and even for my mother to be like, "I didn't like this," I was like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
I was a little kid, and she was like, "I don't like it."
I bet this one is terrible, but I bet that means that it's like really freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like I bet it doesn't drive very well, but I bet it's so much fun.
Why do you always find the ones in Flint?
Flint produces the best Copart
I
cars.
guess it does. Hey, look, there's an Escape behind it.
Yeah, you should buy that. So the only damage I can see on this is if you go to the first picture, the wheel and the bumper.
There's minor dents and scratches for the damage.
Yeah, so what was weird about this car, and I probably won't bid on it just because it's a little sketchy. I always get nervous with minor dents and scratches cars just because you don't know what the story is.
Okay.
This car was in an accident in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been off the road since.
Oh.
And what I am predicting is that maybe insurance couldn't get the title for 2 years.
Oh.
Maybe there was some sort of discrepancy with the title.
But if it's sat
because
for
there
2
was,
years.
but it's been sitting since 2020. Yeah.
I mean, if you could get it for like
For like $1,000, you know,
or
like,
less, and like you could literally just turn it into a Lemons car at that point.
yeah, it's such a cool car though. And I was looking on after I scrolled by this, I was like, oh, I forgot about that car. It's so cool. Look at the seats.
Yeah.
Those are some awesome seats. They look like the seats out of a SRT Challenger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was a cool car.
Yeah.
Kind of aggressive, but still kind of fun.
Super aggressive.
Yeah.
Very cool. Look at the hood.
It's pure
3
sales, too.
scoops.
Is that really how it came? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. The one on the wall looks just like, I think it looks awesome in orange.
Mhm.
The black isn't bad though.
So you wouldn't even be tempted to put like a $500 bid on this with a pure sale?
Yeah. Well, are you going to do that?
I'm not. I have a Copart car. But you
So
do
do
too,
I.
guess.
That needs things.
Although my Copart car is getting pretty close to being sellable. So
It is.
I'd say if it weren't for the fact that I need to get married here in the next month, I would be tempted to put a bid on this. You know,
Yeah.
something low.
So I might. I don't know. I just
Yeah, keep an eye on it for the next 24 hours.
keep an eye on it and see.
Yeah, it
But
goes up soon.
yeah.
That's a fun one though.
I've always liked those. I don't know that I have any other ones. I was
Alright.
just so excited about this Caliber. Oh, anyways, what I was saying is, after I scrolled past this one, I was looking at other ones on Marketplace and whatnot, and like the cheapest one I could find was like $8,000.
Oof. So yeah, I mean, you,
So, I
you could be
mean-
pretty. This is a clean title. You could
Yeah.
fix it up and sell it to some sucker.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else other than this Bentley that hit a pole that I showed you 2 weeks ago.
I have one that's kind of fun. Let me see if I can. Nathan sent this to me actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hello, Nathan. Does he listen still?
I don't know if he does.
Oh, hi, Nathan.
It is a 2008 Volvo S80 with the V8.
200,000 miles.
Yep, 200,000 miles. But
have you ever heard one of these with like a muffler delete?
They sound
oh my
so
god,
good.
they sound awesome.
They really do. The cool thing is because this was a Volvo, it's been meticulously maintained.
That is beautiful.
It's so clean.
That's a good price for that.
V8, but yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Big old V bitch. Fun fact, going back, bringing this full circle, the Topher's parents have one of these.
Not a V8.
Not the V8, but they do have an S80.
They're very Volvo. They have a couple Volvos, don't they?
Yep. Have had and still have.
Wait, yeah. I thought they had an S60 manual.
They have an S60 manual and an S80. And then the 4Runner and then the Miata. Not 4Runner, sorry.
FJ Cruiser.
FJ Cruiser. Yeah. Excellent car family.
Yeah, very good selection there.
Also, you can tell this is a classy owner because he didn't hold his thumb over
the plate.
License plate.
Yeah.
He simply showed it.
He does. Yeah. I don't get that. So can anyone explain to me why people cover their license plates?
They think that some like Indian hacker is going to see their Craigslist ad and all of a sudden steal their identity.
But you just go out you could just go take a picture of anyone's license plate at any time you want.
Yes.
So why do you have to cover it up on the internet?
I don't know. To show that you're someone who shouldn't be purchased. Your car shouldn't be purchased.
Oh my God.
Yes. But this person.
Have you ever seen someone do it with their foot?
Never the foot.
I've seen someone do it with their toe.
That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of people scribble it out like with their phone.
Yeah, and you can still see it under the scribble. Yeah.
Or put like a sock over it or something.
Yeah, microfiber.
Yep. But yeah, this is just so clean. You got your Bridgestone Potenzas. Exact same gauge cluster as our S60 had. Very, very nice and classy. Beautiful interior.
Tan steering wheel. Shout out Matthew.
Could buy this.
Matthew loves Volvos.
Well, there you go. He could straight pipe it.
And cut the roof off.
He did say he wants a winter car. He was not impressed by his Tesla's winter performance.
He hates driving his Tesla in the winter.
So he could buy this as an all-wheel drive, nice, classy winter car, straight pipe it.
Classy, straight pipe it.
And yeah, look at that engine bay. Very clean.
Longitudinally mounted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I just thought that was kind of fun. And for $4,500.
Or wait, no.
Yeah, it's longitudinal. Oh no, you're transverse.
Yes,
transverse.
That's what I meant.
Yep. They knew
this is the same V8 engine used in the Noble M600 supercar.
Yep, engine is a Yamaha V8 manufactured for Volvo. Is known to be nearly bulletproof. Still runs like a top.
Why don't we just go buy this? It's only $4,000.
Because of the statement we said earlier in this podcast of why do we even have any?
Yeah, but this thing would be sweet. Oh my gosh.
It'd be a great daily. You should convince one of your friends who likes to drive expensive German cars as dailies to buy this.
Yeah.
What's
I
Corbett?
should.
Corbett's got the GTI.
He's come to his senses and he just drives a certified pre-owned GTI now.
An excellent car.
Yeah.
Mark
7.5.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's Dane driving these days? Who's the one who has the S4? Corbett. Right?
They both have a million cars.
Okay. And yet they don't store any of them here.
I know.
Come on, guys.
Dane is driving.
Our bad decision.
I know. Well, Dane is driving an X5 right now.
He needs to sell that.
He does. Well, he wants to sell it literally this week. It's to the point where it's. I think there's 9 warning lights on the dash.
He could sell it and go buy.
Actually, will you send me the link to that?
Sure.
Because someone should buy that. We should tell the Topher to buy it.
I don't want everyone to see my Facebook, so just go on Craigslist and literally.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just get it. Yeah. So I'm actually going to use his X5 for my next fixed integration.
Oh, good.
It's going to be perfect because it drives okay.
You could also use the Escape if you ever need to.
Oh, true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could use that for the next
X5
time.
would be cooler. But...
Usually every other month we're doing an integration. So.
All right. Well,
yeah,
I'll probably still have it.
Okay. Sweet. Yep. Yeah, we'll use that for the next one.
He's driving the X5, but he also has his Miata, right? It's Miata season now.
He has the most gorgeous 97 M Edition Miata that he bought from an old man, which is the best way to buy a Miata.
Certainly.
Old fart ownership. That's what I did when I bought mine.
Same with us.
So
that car's on the channel, on the Daily Motor channel. If you
your old Miata?
No, your old Corbett, Dane's Miata.
Yes, it is. We compared it with a ND. Yeah, if you go back about a year, it's been probably a year.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a fun video. Dane and I just drive around in both Miatas and talk about them, and yeah.
So he's got that Miata,
and he has a E30 that's in a zillion pieces, as every E30 is.
He has your old motorcycle too, right?
Nope, that's Corbett. Corbett owns that.
Okay, zillion pieces as well.
Also in a zillion pieces.
Own it, but
yeah, the title's probably in my name still.
Yeah.
As we do.
We are a fun group of kids over here.
Yeah.
All sorts of different fun things. I
Yep.
have a smashed motorcycle now as well.
Yeah.
Many pieces.
Yeah.
Quick side note, nice shirt.
Thank you. My parents got it for me for Christmas.
Nice.
911
action.
Turbo S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I need to email Porsche this week. Try to get us a Macan.
Oh, very good.
Yep.
Any
And
the
a
rally?
car.
Yeah. Any
Rally.
updates in vehicles there? Still at 3?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Hopefully get something this week.
Cool.
Yeah. There you guys go. There's the third one of the night. Thank you all so much for listening. We're going to get on out of here so I can edit this and then wrap up my 12-hour workday, I guess. We are... I've been going for a while. I had to shoot the EV6 review this morning.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Editing. Yep. And we'll be back next week to wrap up our time with the XC40 and the M4 and preview what we got next. Thank you all for listening, and we'll talk at you in the next one. We're Charlie and Chris with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on. Whistle versions. You know I can't whistle.
Really?
Yeah. Never knew. People are like, you just do it. No, like, I can't.
You just do it.